Hey, happy Monday. Welcome to Pharmacy Class with an F. This is Tanya Snyder with the Wild Carrot Farmstead. Today, we're processing chickens. Womp womp, not our favorite thing to do. We prefer larger livestock. It's just easier to work with. The texture of the meat's different. Just seems like a cleaner animal. But we do believe in processing all of our food ourselves, keeping our consumer footprint low, ensuring that our meat is quality and not from all over the world, touched by who knows how many hands. So we still do it ourselves, and I'll tell you what, after doing it on your own, makes you really appreciate the meat you're putting into your body. There are a few steps to processing chickens. One of the first ones is getting everything ready, and that's what we're going to focus on today. What do you need? What do you not need? And we'll go from there. We started processing our own chicken several years ago with even less than you see now. It can be done with a stovetop and a pot and a knife if it comes down to it. We have graduated a little bit since then, but we still don't have a commercial scullery. We don't have a beautiful butcher's kitchen with all the industrial equipment. We still make do with what we have, though we have acquired a little bit extra along the way. We like to start with stainless steel table under shade outside in the morning if you can. The earlier in the day, the cooler the weather, the less chance of flies, and the more energy we have. Today we got a slower start, so we're starting in the afternoon. Not ideal, but we'll make do. So because of our unfortunate timing and it being hot and humid here in Missouri this time of year, we went ahead and brought out our rigid fan that is battery powered from just like one of those drill batteries. My husband got this for me back when we were doing farmers markets, and I'm not gonna lie, it's been a lifesaver. Is it a necessity? No, but it sure does make the work a little bit more pleasurable. Next thing is a good set of knives. We started out with a bad one knife and made do, maybe some scissors as well. Now we've kind of graduated. We enjoy using a bone saw, a cleaver, a little paring knife, and a skinning knife would be ideal. I like the smaller knife for small work, which most of this is, and this is the knife that I tend to reach for the most. Something that's easy to use and navigate. I can easily handle it and handle the small cuts that it takes to eviscerate a chicken. I also like to have a cleaver. This part is after my husband usually is the one who culls the chicken, hands it off to me. This can further separate the head, takes the legs off easier. It gets through bone on that joint bend just quickly and efficiently. Depending how you're gonna dispatch your chicken to, this will do the dispatch work for you. A bone saw is nice. It will cut through those joint breaks like butter. We also use vacuum seal sacks. These, you put the chicken inside this bag, and then you get your water boiling and dunk it in, and it will shrink wrap to the chicken, making packaging easy. After we process the chicken, I will put it into this bag and into our ice cooler. That brings me to the cooler. A cooler full of ice is helpful. After we process the chicken, we'll put it in the bag and then into the cooler so nothing gets warm as we work. Paper towels to keep your hands dry. Moist, wet, slick hands mean for slipping with knife and is a little bit more dangerous, so we try to keep our hands clean and dry as much as we can. And speaking of clean, we also enjoy having a bucket of hot soapy water nearby, so we always have that availability to wash our hands when needed, since we are working outside, not in a kitchen of sorts. I also will keep a bucket of cold water because I like to take my newly processed chicken with all the insides out and dunk it into water and make sure it gets a nice cleaning out before I put it in the bag and into the cooler. A trash can with a trash sack liner is handy. If there's not flies around now, there may well be in just a few minutes. Trying to keep everything cleaned and put away and sealed up will help keep flies down. After I process a chicken and get it packaged up, I'll wipe this whole table down before I take more chickens and process those. If you want to follow me over here, I'll show you a couple other things we have in our little chicken processing camp. This has been a new addition. We used to just do this in the kitchen. I would boil a pot of water to scald. It is not so fun going in and out of the house with chickens. It takes time. It's not as clean and tidy. So we have a turkey fryer here set up on propane in water instead of grease, and we like to keep it boiling around 130 degrees. That is an ideal scalding temperature for a young and prime chicken. If your chicken's a bit older, you can do a hard scald, which is about 150 to 170 degrees, and that's Fahrenheit. And that is what you want to do before you pluck it by hand, which is what we used to do, or send it over to the chicken feather plucker, which I'll take you to here. Careful. This is our yard bird chicken plucker. One of the worst parts about processing your own birds is hand plucking chickens. That takes so much time. It wears out your arms. It makes you ache. So this is our first year that we've been able to acquire a chicken plucker. And after you've scalded your chicken, you can drop it in here and it'll toss it around essentially with some water. And there's some rubber fingers in here if you want to come take a look. And that will take the feathers off and keep the skin on, and actually makes the process go a lot quicker. Prior to the chicken plucker, if I didn't want to process or pluck those feathers out by hand, I would field dress it and basically skin it while it was hanging upside down and just pull all the skin off. But we all know that chicken skin is so yummy and we like to leave it on, and it locks the moisture and flavor in. So I'm super excited to try the yard bird out this year. And that is about it for a quick rundown of how we set up to process our chickens here at the Wild Carrot Farmstead. I hope this encourages you to go out and give it a try. You don't need much. You could use less than what you see here, or if you have these things, go get started.